Have you ever paid attention to the way you talk to yourself? I mean, truly listen to the words running through your mind daily. Most of us don't realize it, but our inner voice shapes our reality. The way we speak to ourselves affects our confidence, our energy, and even our success. What if I told you that for just 3 days you could change the way you speak to yourself and see incredible results? The power of self-talk is undeniable. It can lift you up or pull you down. So today, I want to share how changing your self-talk for just 72 hours can transform your mindset, boost your productivity, and even improve your relationships. Start imagine waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and the first words you say to yourself are filled with kindness and encouragement. Think about how different your day would feel if instead of criticizing yourself for how you look or what you haven't accomplished yet, you started with words that uplifted and motivated you. Most of us are our own worst critics, constantly pointing out our flaws, replaying our mistakes, and doubting our abilities. But what if for just 3 days you made a conscious effort to change this pattern? The way you speak to yourself matters more than you realize. Every negative thought you entertain carves a deeper path in your mind, reinforcing self-doubt and insecurity. Over time, this becomes your default way of thinking, and you start believing the harsh words you tell yourself. You convince yourself that you're not good enough, capable enough, not worthy enough. But what if you flip the script? What if instead of saying, I can't do this, you said, I am figuring this out and I will get there? Instead of, I'm such a failure, you said, I am learning and growing, and every challenge is making me stronger. For 3 days, commit to speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend or a child who needs encouragement. If your best friend came to you feeling discouraged, would you tell them they are a failure? Would you remind them of all the things they've done wrong? Of course not. You would remind them of their strengths, their potential, and all the things they've already overcome. You would lift them up and reassure them that they are capable of handling whatever comes their way. You deserve to give yourself the same kindness and understanding. Start paying attention to the words you use when you talk to yourself throughout the day. If you catch yourself being harsh or self-critical, pause for a moment and rephrase it with something more compassionate. If you find yourself saying, I always mess up, take a deep breath and instead say, I am doing my best and I am improving every day. When you feel overwhelmed and think, I can't handle this, remind yourself, I have faced challenges before and I have overcome them. I am stronger than I think. These small shifts in language may seem insignificant at first, but over time they rewire your brain to see yourself in a more positive light. Your inner voice has the power to build you up or tear you down, and the choice is yours. When you start treating yourself with kindness, you will notice a shift in your confidence, your mood, and even how you interact with others. You will begin to feel lighter, more motivated, and more in control of your thoughts. And as this becomes a habit, you will realize that the way you speak to yourself is shaping the way you experience life itself. Dot words carry energy, and the ones you choose to repeat to yourself shape your beliefs, actions, and ultimately your reality. Every single day, your mind is absorbing the messages you feed it, whether they are intentional or not. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I always mess things up, your subconscious mind takes these statements as truth and starts looking for ways to prove them right. Over time, these words become deeply ingrained beliefs that affect your confidence, motivation, and ability to take action. Now, imagine replacing those limiting thoughts with words that empower you. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you say, I am constantly growing and I am more than enough. Instead of I always mess up, you say I learn from my mistakes and get better every day. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more your brain starts to accept them as truth. This isn't just wishful thinking, science backs it up. The brain has a remarkable ability to rewire itself based on repeated thoughts and experiences, a concept known as neuroplasticity. By intentionally using positive affirmations, you can reshape your thought patterns and build a stronger, more confident mindset. At first, saying these affirmations might feel unnatural. You might feel resistance, especially if your inner dialogue has been negative for a long time. That's okay. The key is repetition and consistency. Just like going to the gym strengthens your muscles, consistently repeating positive affirmations strengthens your mind. The more you say them, the more natural they become, and eventually they start to influence your actions. To make affirmations more effective, say them with conviction and emotion. Simply whispering, "I am confident," without feeling it won't have the same impact as looking in the mirror, standing tall, and saying, "I am confident, strong, and capable." The energy behind your words matters just as much as the words themselves. Say them like you mean them, and over time they will become a core part of how you see yourself. It also helps to write them down. Seeing your affirmations on paper in your journal or on sticky notes around your space reinforces them in your mind. Place them where you will see them often, on your bathroom mirror, your desk, or as a reminder on your phone. The more frequently you expose yourself to these positive statements, the deeper they will sink into your subconscious. Your thoughts influence your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. When you fill your mind with words of encouragement and self-belief, you naturally start making choices that align with those beliefs. You stand taller, take more risks, and push past self-doubt. Even in challenging situations, instead of spiraling into negativity, you remind yourself, "I am strong, I am resilient, and I can handle anything that comes my way." The power of affirmations isn't just in saying the words, it's in allowing them to transform the way you see yourself and the world around you. The way you perceive challenges and setbacks is largely influenced by the way you talk to yourself. When a negative thought enters your mind, it can feel automatic, almost as if it's the undeniable truth. But in reality, most of these thoughts are not facts, they are interpretations based on past experiences, fears, and self-doubt. The problem is that when you accept these thoughts without question, they begin to shape your actions and emotions. If you believe you're not capable of achieving something, you may not even try. If you believe you always fail, you might stop putting in effort. But what if you could take control of these thoughts and change them before they take root? Reframing negative thoughts is a skill that can completely transform the way you experience life. Instead of letting a negative thought define you, you learn to challenge it, shift your perspective, and turn it into something empowering. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to the words running through your mind. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," pause for a moment and question it. Where is this thought coming from? Is it based on facts, or is it just a feeling? Has there ever been a time when you succeeded, even in a small way? By breaking down the thought logically, you weaken its power over you. Once you recognize a negative thought, the next step is to reframe it into something more constructive. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to see situations in a way that motivates you rather than holds you back. If you think, "I'll never get better at this," change it to, "Every time I practice, I improve." If you catch yourself saying, "This is too hard," remind yourself, "This is a challenge that will help me grow." If you make a mistake and your mind jumps to, "I always mess up," shift it to, "Mistakes are part of learning and I am improving with each experience." The goal is to replace limiting beliefs with thoughts that encourage resilience and progress. This practice is especially important in moments of failure or struggle. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to spiral into self-doubt and frustration. But instead of seeing failure as proof that you're not good enough, you can choose to see it as feedback. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and come back stronger. Some of the most successful people in the world have faced failure countless times, but what sets them apart is their ability to reframe those experiences as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. It's also important to be mindful of the language you use. Words carry energy, and the way you phrase things can make a huge difference in how you feel. Instead of saying, I have to do this, say, I get to do this. Instead of, I am struggling, say, I am in the process of figuring it out. These small shifts in language might seem insignificant, but they train your brain to see possibilities instead of limitations. The more you practice reframing negative thoughts, the more natural it becomes. And over time, your entire mindset begins to shift. Instead of seeing problems, you start seeing solutions. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you focus on what you can do. Instead of doubting yourself, you begin to trust your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. The mind is a powerful tool, and what you focus on consistently has the ability to shape your reality. Every great achievement, every success, and every breakthrough begins in the mind long before it happens in real life. The ability to visualize success is not just a motivational concept. It is a scientifically backed technique that has been used by athletes, performers, and high achievers for decades. When you close your eyes and see yourself succeeding, your brain registers that mental image almost as if it were a real experience. The neurons in your brain fire in a way that strengthens the connection between thought and action, making it easier for you to perform that action in real life. Most people let their minds wander aimlessly, reacting to circumstances and allowing fears, doubts, and past failures to dominate their thoughts. But by intentionally visualizing success, you take control of your mental landscape. Instead of replaying old mistakes or worrying about what could go wrong, you start programming your brain to expect positive outcomes. The more detailed and vivid your mental images are, the more powerful they become. Picture yourself excelling at your job, confidently delivering a presentation or achieving a personal goal. See yourself calm, focused, and in control. Imagine the sounds, the emotions, and even the sensations of success. The more real it feels in your mind, the more your subconscious believes it is possible. The way you visualize yourself affects the way you show up in real life. If you constantly see yourself struggling, nervous, or failing, your body and mind respond accordingly. Your posture, your energy, and even your choices will reflect those doubts. But when you consistently visualize yourself as capable, confident, and successful, you naturally begin to align your actions with that image. Your body language shifts, your confidence increases, and your belief in your own ability strengthens. The way you think about yourself determines the way you behave, and the way you behave influences the results you get. Visualization works best when combined with emotion. Simply seeing yourself succeed is not enough, you have to feel it. Experience the pride, the excitement, and the joy that comes with accomplishing your goals. The stronger the emotion, the deeper the impression it leaves on your subconscious mind. Emotionally charged visualizations send a powerful message to your brain that what you are imagining is not just a possibility, but a certainty. When your mind believes in something strongly enough, it looks for ways to make it a reality. One of the most effective ways to use visualization is to incorporate it into your daily routine. Spend a few minutes each morning or before an important task mentally rehearsing success. See yourself overcoming obstacles with ease, handling challenges with confidence, and achieving everything you set out to do. The more consistently you practice this, the more natural it becomes, and soon it starts influencing your decisions and behaviors in ways you may not even realize. Instead of second-guessing yourself, you start taking action. Instead of avoiding challenges, you face them head-on. Instead of dwelling on setbacks, you quickly refocus and move forward. The mind cannot distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. So when you repeatedly visualize success, your brain starts preparing your body and actions to match that reality. Even in difficult situations, visualization can help shift your perspective. When faced with uncertainty or fear, instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you can train your mind to focus on what could go right. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, you begin to see them as stepping stones. Instead of feeling powerless, you feel capable and prepared. Your thoughts create the foundation for your reality, and the clearer you make that vision, the more effortlessly your actions align with it. Gratitude has the power to shift perspectives, elevate moods, and bring clarity in ways that few other practices can. While people often associate gratitude with acknowledging the good things in life, they rarely extend that same appreciation toward themselves. Most people are quick to criticize their mistakes, point out their flaws, and dwell on what they have yet to achieve, but they seldom take a moment to recognize their own efforts, growth, and resilience. The way you treat yourself mentally and emotionally plays a crucial role in your confidence, motivation, and overall well-being. When you start expressing gratitude toward yourself, you begin to reinforce the idea that you are enough, that your progress matters, and that you are deserving of kindness and appreciation. Throughout the day, you put effort into countless things: your work, your relationships, your personal growth. But how often do you acknowledge those efforts? Even on difficult days, you show up, push through challenges, and keep moving forward. Yet it's easy to overlook these things and focus on what wasn't perfect. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong or what you think you should have done better, take time to recognize what you did well. Maybe you handled a tough situation with patience, made progress on a goal, or simply kept going when things felt overwhelming. No matter how small it may seem, every step you take deserves recognition. Gratitude toward yourself is not about ignoring areas where you can improve. It's about balancing self-reflection with self-appreciation. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you don't meet your own expectations, but constant self-criticism can drain your motivation and make you feel as if nothing is ever good enough. When you shift your focus to what you are doing right, you build a stronger foundation of self-worth. Instead of saying, I should have done more today, say, I am proud of the effort I put in today and I will continue to grow. Instead of thinking, I'm not where I want to be, remind yourself, I have already come so far and I am on my way. These small changes in perspective create a more supportive and encouraging inner dialogue, which fuels confidence and persistence. The practice of self-gratitude becomes even more powerful when you express it intentionally. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things about yourself that you are grateful for. It could be something you accomplished, a positive quality you displayed, or even the fact that you made it through a challenging day. Write them down or say them out loud. When you actively acknowledge your progress and strengths, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and worthy of appreciation. Over time, this practice trains your mind to naturally seek out the good in yourself rather than fixating on what you think is lacking. Self-gratitude also strengthens resilience. Life will always have its ups and downs, and there will be moments of failure, setbacks, and uncertainty. In these moments, it's easy to be consumed by frustration or disappointment. But when you have built a habit of recognizing your own efforts, you develop the ability to stay grounded even in difficult times. You remind yourself that just because today was tough doesn't mean you aren't making progress. You recognize that every challenge you face is shaping you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Gratitude helps you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, which shifts your mindset from discouragement to empowerment. When you make it a habit to appreciate yourself, you start carrying yourself differently. You become more confident in your abilities, more patient with your journey, and more aware of your own worth. You stop waiting for external validation because you know that your value isn't determined by anyone else, it comes from within. Instead of constantly chasing the next achievement in hopes of feeling good enough, you begin to understand that you are already enough. Every effort you make, every challenge you overcome, and every step you take forward is something to be proud of. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how you experience life. And when you choose to acknowledge your own growth and progress, you create a mindset that supports, uplifts, and strengthens you. The words you say to yourself each day act like seeds planted in the soil of your mind. Over time, those seeds grow into beliefs that shape how you see yourself, how you approach challenges, and what you believe is possible for your life. If you continuously repeat words of doubt, fear, and limitation, those beliefs take root and influence your actions in ways you may not even realize. But if you deliberately choose words that inspire confidence, strength, and resilience, you begin to reshape your mindset and transform the way you experience the world. Speaking to yourself with positivity and encouragement is not just about feeling good in the moment, it is about setting the foundation for lasting change. Every word you say carries energy, and when repeated often enough, those words begin to rewire the way you think. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," your mind begins to accept that as truth, and you unconsciously make choices that reinforce that belief. You might hesitate to take opportunities, shy away from challenges, or settle for less than you deserve. But when you change that inner dialogue to "I am more than capable," you send a completely different message to your subconscious. You start seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to trust yourself more, take bolder steps, and push past fears that once held you back. Every time you catch yourself speaking negatively, take a moment to pause and shift your words into something more empowering. Instead of saying, "I'll never figure this out," say, "I am learning and I will find a way." Instead of, "I'm so bad at this," say, "I am improving with every effort I make." The way you phrase things matters because your mind absorbs these messages and uses them to shape your reality. The more you replace self-doubt with self-assurance, the more natural it becomes, and soon, positivity becomes your default way of thinking. It is not enough to simply think positive words. You need to speak them out loud. The power of hearing your own voice, affirming your strengths and abilities, is immense. When you vocalize uplifting words, they resonate on a deeper level and create a stronger emotional connection. Say them with conviction, as if you already believe them completely. Even if it feels unnatural at first, keep going. The more you say them, the more they become embedded in your subconscious, and soon they will feel like second nature. The words you use should be intentional and aligned with the kind of person you want to become. If you want to be confident, tell yourself, "I am confident and capable in everything I do." If you want to be resilient, remind yourself, "I have overcome challenges before and I can handle whatever comes my way." If you want to cultivate inner peace, repeat, "I am calm, centered, and in control of my thoughts." The more you reinforce these ideas, the more your actions begin to align with them. When you start treating yourself with kindness and encouragement, you begin to notice a shift in how you approach life. You become more patient with yourself, more willing to take risks, and more open to growth. The doubts that once held you back start to fade, and in their place, a stronger, more confident version of you emerges. The words you speak shape the path you walk. And when you choose to speak words of strength, belief, and self-love, you begin to build a reality that reflects those very qualities.